First game tomorrow, the Bills and Broncos facing off in a rematch of last year's wild card game. It's going to be good. It's going to mark the third postseason meeting between the teams, with the Bills having won each of the last two. But this will be a first meeting in Denver, where they won the league best 8 games this year. Broncos come in with 68 sacks, the 5th most in the season in NFL history. Josh Allen's only been sacked 16% of the time when he's been pressured in his career. That's the 4th best rate in the NFL since 2018. And the Bills entering the season as 6-1 co-favorites with the Ravens. The Bills are the only team that entered the season shorter than 20-1 to win the Super Bowl that is still alive in the playoffs. Senior NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler and NFL analyst Amina here with me. Jeremy, the Bills are dealing with several injuries, so give us the latest news. Start with that QB, Josh Allen, please.
Yeah, Josh Allen, despite injuring basically every body part he has, he is feeling good. He told reporters he's feeling the best he has in a couple weeks. He's been dealing with a finger, a foot, a knee issue, but looks like he is good to go despite taking several hits in that Jacksonville game. The bigger question will be, who does he throw to? Several injuries at receiver. Brandon Cooks will slide into that wide receiver 3 role most likely, and then Dalton Kincaid will be big time. That's going to be the go-to, the tight end. And you got some other injuries on the Bills front. You got Terrell Bernard with a calf, Ed Oliver bicep, Ty Johnson ankle. I'm told Johnson is up in the air. He's hopeful, but it might have to be next week for a return if they advance. Ed Oliver, that's the big one. He is a star defensive tackle who could really help. He is optimistic that he can go, though it's nothing official yet.
Okay, Amina, let's go to you. What do you view as the deciding factor in this game?
I want to see if Denver can do what Jacksonville didn't do, which is not just run the ball, but stick with the run, because it is very clearly the glaring weakness of this Bills defense. You saw that against the Jags, by the way. The running backs had like a 70% success rate in that game. And quietly, Denver has been running the football a lot better. In fact, in the second half of the season, they're actually 3rd league-wide in success rate, which is an efficiency metric. They use both R.J. Harvey and Jaleel McLaughlin and Bo Nix, who I personally believe needs to be part of that run game. The Bills defense has struggled to stop option runs, particularly in the red zone. So I would look for Bo Nix to use his feet in addition to those Denver running backs.
Yeah, Denver 10-0 this season when they run the ball at least 25 times. They're 4-3 when they run it less than 25 times. Amina and Jeremy are going to be with us throughout the show. Thank you much for that.
It's round 3 between the Niners and Seahawks in the divisional round. Seattle's Sam Darnold is questionable after tweaking his oblique yesterday. Darnold said he felt a little something, but said that he will play. Darnold struggled against San Fran this year, failing to throw a touchdown in either contest. With George Kittle out, the Niners will lean heavily on Christian McCaffrey, who has found the end zone in all 8 of his playoff games, the longest streak to begin a career in NFL postseason history. The Seahawks are the #1 seed for the 4th time in franchise history. Each of the previous 3 instances resulted in Seattle reaching the Super Bowl, most recently in 2014. All right, let's welcome back Jeremy Fowler and Amina to the show. And Jeremy, not the best time for your quarterback to be dealing with injury, but what's the latest on Sam Darnold going into this weekend?
Yeah, so I checked in with somebody with the team. I'm told he is still scheduled to play, plans to play, no setbacks right now. So he had that little tweak during the practice yesterday. Could have kept practicing, but he figured, let me just rest a little bit, give my backup Drew Lock some precious reps. I know the 49ers are fully expecting Darnold to play, and they expect him to play well. They know they're going to have to frustrate him, fluster him in the pocket, try to get as many hands and hits on him as possible in a raucous environment in Seattle that's bound to be crazy.
Yeah, definitely going to be crazy out there in Seattle. I mean, I want to bring it to you. A lot of factors to consider in this matchup. Sam Darnold didn't throw a single touchdown against the Niners in the regular season, and San Fran dealing with a ton of injuries. What's going to be the deciding factor in this game?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it. It's that red zone offense. It's why the Week 18 game had a score that maybe didn't reflect how dominant the Seahawks were for much of the game, particularly obviously on defense. Missed field goals also factored into that, them only putting up 13 points. But going over 3 in the red zone was big. He had an opportunity to hit one of the Seahawks running backs, Zach Charbonnet, in the flat, and he didn't make the throw. I think he's going to have to hit those in this one. And this is an issue, by the way, that's been going on for longer. Weeks 1 through 9, Seattle ranked 3rd in red zone touchdown percentage, over 70% of the time. From week 11 onward, that dropped to 30th. So this is not just a single game issue for Seattle. They have been worse in the red zone. They're going to have to score more than they did, I believe, the last time to win this one.
And Jeremy, just really quickly, I mentioned those Niners injuries. How are they looking coming into this matchup?
Well, they've been pretty beat up. You got George Kittle, of course, is out. All their defensive players almost, it feels like they are out. But they should get some good news with Ricky Pearsall, who has been in and out of the lineup for most of the last couple weeks. He is questionable, but he is hopeful that he can try to go. Optimistic that he can get over the hump, suit up tomorrow. That'd be big news. Linebacker D. Winters is questionable, but they'll see how he feels over the next 24 hours.
Round 3 between these two teams. We'll see who gets the win when it matters most. The Texans and Patriots square off on Sunday at 3 Eastern in Foxborough, and points will likely be at a premium. The Texans enter the divisional round with their best defense in franchise history, and it was put on full display in the wild card with multiple defensive touchdowns. The Patriots defense has been strong as of late, allowing 10 or fewer points in 3 consecutive games, including playoffs, one shy of tying the longest such streak in franchise history. Both teams are polar opposites in terms of divisional round success. The Patriots have won 8 straight divisional games, the longest streak by any team since the 1970 merger. Meanwhile, the Texans have never advanced past this round. Both coaches spoke today. Take a listen. It's new on SportsCenter.
We want to try to be as precise as possible. We haven't talked one time about being perfect since I've been here. You know, we're aiming for success and not perfection. Nobody's going to be perfect. We're going to need to be precise. We know how critical taking care of the football is in every game, especially against a team that's plus 16 in the turnover margin. I've never once said that we have to be perfect at anything.
All right, guess who? Jeremy Fowler, Amina still back here with us. And Jeremy, Texas receiver Nico Collins suffered a concussion in the win over the Steelers on Monday. What's his status for Sunday?
Nico Collins is not expected to play. He has not practiced all week, not expected on the practice field today. So it would be a major uphill battle in that concussion protocol to not practice at all and still pass through the 5 steps of that, because you have to get on the field, show you can do aerobic work, and then be cleared by an independent neurologist. So barring something unforeseen, Nico Collins will not be in this game, which is a huge blow to Houston because they've already had problems moving the ball despite a dominant defense that can really take them throughout this playoffs. They're going to need to manufacture points. Expect a lot of Woody Marks and Nick Chubb in the running game.
Yeah, a deep threat that's not there for that Texans offense. So, Amina, I want to bring you in on this. How do the Texans get it done without Nico Collins?
Yeah, I think something that's going to be key is C.J. Stroud finding answers versus the blitz. So in the last round, we all remember the Patriots' defensive line obliterating Justin Herbert. Felt like he was under siege. But the reality is their 4-man rush actually had a pressure rate of under 20%, according to Next Gen Stats. It was when they sent extra rushers that pressure rate climbed 5 or 6 to over 40%. This Patriots pass rush has not been great all season long, and I'm not saying the Texans offensive line is one of the best by any means, but I do think they're going to try to send pressure again. Stroud, over the course of the season, was just okay versus the blitz, but in the second half was much better. The question, of course, is with Nico Collins out, who are you targeting? Is it Christian Kirk? Is it those backs? They're going to have to figure that out.
Yeah, a lot of great matchups to watch on the field as well. Amina, what's the one-on-one matchup you'll be watching the most closely?
Yeah, flipping it to the other side of the ball, I'm looking at the Patriots rookie left tackle Will Campbell against, I'll say Danielle Hunter, but it could also be Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr., they switch sometimes alignments. They line them both up, over the left tackle. We know how terrifying this Texans pass rush is. And we also saw the left side of the Patriots offensive line struggle in the last round against the Chargers pass rush. Both Campbell and I would say the left guard is also a rookie, Wilson. So I think that's something that Houston is going to try to take advantage of. I think Will Campbell has had a good rookie season. It was just a tough matchup. Going to see if he bounces back. That's going to be huge, of course, against this Texans pass rush.
Yeah, and Drake May will be relying on Will Campbell and the rest of that offensive line to keep him upright. So, Jeremy, what have they been saying about Drake May in the season that he's had so far?
Extra work, extra work, extra work. I've talked to multiple teammates of the Patriots who say that after pretty much every practice, Drake May is on the field throwing routes on air to his receivers, to his tight ends, to his running backs. He loves doing that. He's also had some individual film sessions with his guys on top of what he's already getting from offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels. So when plays break down, like you see there, and May has to run, he can find those guys because he's got a chemistry with them based on that extra work.
That extra work paying off of just where the Patriots are right now at this point in the season, somewhere that nobody really saw that this Patriots team would be at this time in January. Jeremy, Mina, more with you in just a bit. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, back with Jeremy Fowler and Mina Kimes. Jeremy, Sunday in Chicago, temps in the single digits. It's going to be cold, some snow, some wind. Not the best mix, especially with Matthew Stafford dealing with that sprained index finger. So how will all of that affect the Rams game?
Jay, 0 degrees is the last temperature check I just saw before I came out here.
Okay.
Crazy. But the Rams are full speed ahead regardless of the temperature. Talking to people over there, they said, look, Matthew Stafford is used to playing in the NFC North for years in Detroit. He's comfortable with that. He feels great on that finger. He's been throwing the ball well this week. So they're going to run their offense, which is a little bit run heavy for the most part, especially on the road. But they feel like they can beat the Bears in a lot of different ways. I talked to tight end Colby Parkinson recently. He said, we can beat you with 3 tight ends on the field, 2 tight ends, 1 tight end. And that all the talk about the Bears and their comebacks, the Rams feel like they can do the same thing because McVay and Matthew Stafford together are considered eternal optimists in that building. They feel like no matter what the deficit might be, they can come back and do it. And then, Jay, you got the Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur stuff from last week.
Yep.
Sean McVay said this week, I'm very good friends with Matt LaFleur, made that clear. So there's some personal vibes going on. Ben Johnson seems to want the smoke. I cannot wait for this game.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Before we get to Amina, the Bears have some nagging offensive injuries. What more can you tell us about that?
So we'll start with Rome Odunze. He's got a foot issue that he's been working through for the better part of the last 6 weeks. And so he is listed as questionable. Got on the practice field a little bit today, but he's told reporters that it's all systems go in the playoff. He wants to try to play through it. So it will be up to the team to figure out whether he's good to go. But I expect over the next 24 hours or so for that to become clear that Rome will try to go out there and play. He was able to do it last week. They want to manage it and be cautious with that foot, but he should be good to go. And then you got DJ Moore as well. So he is off the injury report now. He was limited in practice early in the week with a knee issue that's sort of been lingering, but that's more of a maintenance thing because he was full go on the last day of the practice week. He's off the report. He's good to go. This is the playoffs, Jay. Everybody's ready.
For a 0 temperature. All right, cool. Mina, to you. Caleb Williams needed late game heroics to beat the Packers. Chicago is all about late game heroics this season. What do you want to see from him early to pull off the upset against the Rams?
Well, I'll start by saying I want to see him handing the ball off because similar to the Rams, the Bears have a dominant rushing attack, and I think they'll have success in this weather as well, running the football. But as far as when he does pass, I think he can lean into some of the things he's done well all year because the Rams defense struggles with, and that starts with play action. Over the last 6 weeks of the season, through the wildcard round, the Rams defense is 30th in EPA per play versus play action. You saw Bryce Young have some success in the postseason throwing to Ted McMillan off of play fakes. I think Chicago, which is a very heavy play action team, can do the same. The other thing I'll say, and this ties to that, crossers. Another thing this Rams defense has struggled to defend all year long. Another thing that Caleb Williams likes to throw for the middle of the field. So I think basically the staples of the Bears passing attack align well with the weaknesses we've seen from this Rams defense as of late.
All right, Mina, Jeremy, thank you much.